Yeah, I'm Christian. I'm an entrepreneur and also a venture partner with Euraseo, which is the largest venture capital fund in continental Europe. And my focus is smart city. But recently, I started with SPRIND, which is the Federal Agency for Disruptive Innovation, die Bundesagentur für Sprunginnovationen auf Deutsch. So, disruptive innovations fundamentally change the way we live. They create new industries or disrupt existing ones like you're doing in the battery, in the anode space, what we just heard. And if you do that, it's probably not so easy, and very often you feel like this guy or this dog. You're like not very welcome. Everyone is like, oh, this is not really fitting, right? It's very tough, especially if you're focusing on breakthrough technologies. But if you succeed, you can create tremendous wealth for the society, for yourself probably, but especially for the society. Now, think about it. What if we stop innovating? What happens? If you look at Europe, for decades has been the engine for disruptive innovation. And that has changed in the past. Why is that the case? There's probably tons of reasons, but I want to look at one. If you look at the iPhone and the iPod in the US, there's more than a dozen fundamental breakthrough technologies that went into the development of these great gadgets, these great devices, that were supported heavily by US government contracts. You don't have that in Germany or in Europe in the same scale. That's just one argument, right? And generally, what's missing is a bridge between research and entrepreneurship. And that's what we want to be with SPRIND. And we have €1 billion budget to do that. State money that we can give to innovators that really want to change the world. And if you do that, it's not that easy because it's not just about the technology, it's about the funding, which we can provide along with our partners from the capital markets, the venture capital companies. But it also needs a failure culture where everyone talks about, and it just is not there yet because you still say, oh, you see, this guy failed. Like, that's how we think in Europe and Germany. In the States, it's very different. And you need the executional power, and that's where we can help with SPRIND. Because sometimes if you look at your innovation, you're like, wow, totally in love with it, and you think that's the really coolest thing ever. But there's always someone who wants to kill your innovation, right? So you need to be prepared, and you need to have deep pockets to sustain and commercialize your breakthrough innovation. So we're looking for these guys that ride these waves, right? Brave people, guys and girls, obviously. And I want to give you some examples of projects that we support. For example, Capsitech, which is like an antibiotics, but against virus. Very relevant these days. And it's like a nano machine that you can inject in your body. And this machine is programmed to just go after one virus, after the specific virus, and encapsulates it and makes it harmless. You can use the same technology to combat cancer or other diseases. So that's one of the projects in healthcare. Microbubbles is something I really love. Not so much commercially, probably possible in the future, but microbubbles removes microplastics from the oceans, from the rivers, with a very simple technology behind it. Or another example, weather tech. They can enhance rainfall by up to 40%, and they can make regions in semi-arid areas renaturalized, completely renaturalized. And also, that's great for decarbonization, by the way, right? And agriculture, and just things will change fundamentally in countries where weather tech is used. These are just examples. Well, why we like these guys with these lonely people on this big waves, there's also things where we say, hey, we don't bet just on one horse, we bet on the full race, right? And that's when we come up with challenges, maybe like X Prize, just a little bit different. And the last challenge we did was the carbon to value challenge, just to give you an example. But there's many challenges to come in the future. So please check out our website. You can reach me anytime. I'm, as I said, with SPRIND, but also with Euraseo. If you are raising venture capital funds, you can reach out to me. But if you're creating a great next big thing, please get in touch. Thank you very much.